misbehaving. So, listen, the subject that we're going to discuss today is one that I know you've spoken about a lot over the years. And one Arsene Wenger, there's only one. You know what? I ain't heard that song for a long time.
I heard it last night, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, Man City fans were singing it.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know, that is where we've got to on this.
Yeah.
And there's no trying to skirt the issue. There's no trying to beat around the bush. We have to talk now today about the manager. We've had back-to-back feats by Manchester City. First of all, I thought the most embarrassing one for me was the cup final, because we normally turn up in cup finals and we were absolutely so poor.
I think
in
the
that final.
First half of the game yesterday was even worse.
You think so?
Yeah, because you know what? For the first 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the cup final, I thought we had a good foothold of the game, and we should have been 1-0 up with the chance with Aubameyang.
I thought we started well
No. But what I mean is then we got to half time in the cup final at 1-0, and you think, right, we're still in the game. We're still in this game. We've got a big chance here. We can, you know, maybe come out a little bit different in the second half. Man City were not playing at their best. Nowhere near. Last night, within half an hour, game's dead. Done.
I thought, I looked at the two games. I thought the first game was mainly down to a lack of effort and desire by Arsenal. Completely, and we got battered in that final, and it could have been even worse. And then I look at the second game and I say to myself, there was fight and a bit more, not enough, but a bit more desire in that game. But in that game, the gulf between them and us was frightening. And the tactical difference between the two teams was frightening. And then I started looking at Arsenal this year. You know what? Let me just go through, yeah? January.
Haven't we lost the most games of any Premier League team?
We've lost the most games in all competitions. So more games in all competitions than any Premier League team. Any Premier League team, which is absolutely frightening. And let me go through. This is January, since January. Arsenal 2, Chelsea 2. That was obviously that was in the league.
Yeah.
That was in the league. Game we were losing, came back. FA Cup, knocked out of the FA Cup. Nottingham Forest 4, Arsenal 2. Carabao Cup drew 0-0 with Chelsea, first leg. Lost away to Bournemouth 2-1. Beat Crystal Palace 4-1 at home. Beat Chelsea in the second leg of the Carabao Cup 2-1. Went away to Swansea, lost 3-1. Then beat Everton 5-1. Lost 1-0 to Tottenham. Went away, beat Ostersund's 3-0. Came back, lost to Ostersund's 2-1. Lost to Man City 3-0, and then 3-0 again. 3-0 in the final, Carabao Cup, and 3-0 in the league. And sorry, that is a horrendous record. I know that over the years you've been a guy, you know, sort of since you've been coming on this channel, that has been advocating that you think it's time for the manager to leave. I've tried to put various arguments and, you know, play devil's advocate, and also put arguments where possibly, you know, we should give him a further chance. I'm finding it really hard at the moment when I'm interviewing fans. Somebody sent me a message the other day and they said, Robbie, you don't have any balance on ArsenalFanTV at the moment. You know what I mean? Everything's just Wenger out, Wenger out. Everybody's just Wenger out.
What's everyone meant?
And I had to respond to the guy and said, listen, I've been desperately trying to find people that are going to put up a case for Arsene Wenger, and I find it so hard.
It's just time.
So difficult that even when I've spoken to people who have said, you know what, give him a bit more chance than that. I said to them, come on, they're like, you know, actually, I'm not sure if I'd really want to go on and back in publicly. That's what it's got to. And Arsene Wenger is still hanging on. He's got a contract till the end of 2019 season. And he's basically come out and said that I'm sticking to that contract. I've never broken a contract in all the years.
Man City, wasn't it?
Well, he's still, yeah, but he's still not come out and said any different.
Did you see his post-match comments about that was one of the best intensities we've played at?
I couldn't believe that, and I really know. I'm really now finding it. I'm finding it as a person that's interviewing fans. I'm finding it difficult to find anybody who's backing him at the moment, and it's really sad to see at the moment because I'm starting to see. I mean, I think you described him last night as Mugabe.
Arsene
Mugabe. And the way it's starting to look, that if some sort of decision isn't made soon, I don't want to see him hounded out. I really don't. He's a legend of this club. Do you know what? He's a legend.
Do you want me to be honest with you? He deserves everything he gets. I'm sorry. He deserves everything he gets because he's brought this on himself.
Would you like to see him hounded out? Come on.
Listen, Robbie, it's got to a point now where I care more about Arsenal Football Club than Arsene Wenger. Okay? And he's destroying this club. So as far as I'm concerned, get him out at all costs. I don't care anymore.
Get him out. What would you say? Would you say to Arsene Wenger, end of the season?
No, do you know what I would honestly do?
You're in charge.
I would get rid of him now, and I'd put someone else in charge, and I would try and make something of the last remaining part of the season.
But are you going to get now? Because listen, think of it long term.
Caretaker in charge till the end of the season.
You would take a caretaker?
Yes, I would. I'll put caretaker in charge till the end of the season. We're not going to get relegated. All right? We're effectively out of the top four anyway.
Yeah.
All right? So all we've got to play for is the Europa. Can a caretaker do any worse than Arsene Wenger?
So then why bring in a caretaker? Have a bit of respect for the guy.
No, because bringing in a caretaker and totally, giving something a lift around the club, yeah, and the players a different voice and a different, environment might be the difference between us winning the Europa League. It could happen. Let me give you a prime example. Chelsea. Yeah. Didn't they sack their manager and then bring in Di Matteo? And what did he go and win?
Champions League.
Different voice, different ideas. I would honestly look at the likes of bringing in Henry to take over to the rest of the season. Can he do any worse?
No.
And then if Thierry Henry comes into that dressing room, comes into that training ground and that environment, as a player, are you going to listen to him? Of course you're going to listen to him. The likes of Eden Hazard and all that have said about their training at Belgium. Eden Hazard's one of the best players in the world. But yet he sits up and takes notices of Thierry Henry. Because why would you not? World Cup winner, European winner, Champions League winner, Premier League winner, Golden Boots.
So just till the end of the season?
Till the end of the season, then we assess the situation. Can another man do any worse than Arsene Wenger right now? That team are not playing for him. That team look void of ideas. There's no passion. There's no hunger. There's nothing there. Even the new players look like they've been here for years. That's the scary thing. We've turned Aubameyang into Sonogo in 4 weeks. He looks completely lost out there.
But he's getting no service, is he?
I was watching it last night. And they're pumping the ball long up to him. And I'm like...
Everyone overhit as well.
Why are you trying to make him fight for the ball in the air against Vincent Kompany? Come on. It's common sense, Robbie. Do you know what I mean? And this is why we moan. It's common sense, man.
One of the biggest differences, in particular the game in the league, one of the biggest differences is I looked at Man City and you can see a team that's drilled. Every time they had the ball, I looked out from where I was sitting, I could see Sane and Danilo, they hugged the touchline. Straight away, boom, straight over. If they run over and they hug that touchline, as soon as they get the ball, that's obviously been drilled into them. Yeah. That's not, they're not strolling around, they hug it. And then as soon as City lost the ball, they sprinted back into the, Sane into the middle and Danilo back into position. Sane, over both games, absolutely tore us to shreds. He had Bellerin on the floor, practically every time he had the ball. And I heard a City fan the other day on the radio saying that apparently Sane had a poor game against Wigan, that game when they lost in the FA Cup. And Pep Guardiola apparently pulled him to one side and said, "Yeah, what are you doing, man? If you buck your ideas up, I know you've been playing well this season, but any more performances like that, you're out."
Yeah.
And then you look around the pitch at Arsenal, and there's guys like, you know, Bellerin, Mustafi, Granit Xhaka, those three in particular I could pick out, that have had poor game after poor game after, and they're still playing. They still know that every week
they're going to play.
They're starting.
You know, there was...
unless they're injured.
We was talking about Henry, and I remember him having a conversation about Pep Guardiola when he went to Barcelona. And he said that Pep used to say to him, if he puts you on the wing, if you ain't out on that wing and getting chalk on your boots, he'll pull you off. And Thierry, can't remember the exact words of what it was, but in one of his interviews, he said that he drifted away. And Pep went mad at him on the touchline.
You see Pep there barking instructions. They're 3-0 up, 2-0 up. He's barking instructions.
And Arsene Wenger sat there like this.
And Arsene's just sat there. And
sat there with Steve Bold, looking like the Chuckle Brothers.
And I just, you know, I don't know.
Robbie, it's done.
It's
you
know,
done.
there doesn't seem to be any tactical formation to Arsenal. As I said, when I looked at City, when I looked at Tottenham the other day, right? These look like drilled teams. They're players that know they have a job to do, right? It's not just about your talent. Your job is to do this, your job is to do that, and they carry it out. And they live or die by those tactics of the manager. Where at Arsenal, especially away from home, there doesn't seem to be a definitive tactic. I don't know what our style is anymore.
We ain't got an identity.
You know, when Wigan played Manchester City, their style was park the bus.
Yeah.
When Liverpool played Manchester City, these are two teams that beat City. When Liverpool beat Manchester City, their style was all-out attack. We're going to go for you. We know you're great, but we're going. When we play City, I don't know what we were trying to do. Was it attack?
Like I said, there's no
was
identity.
It defence? What was it? What was the...
There is no identity. Ray Parlour went to visit the training ground about a year or so ago, and he said there's no difference now to when he was there in 2004. It's 2018, Robbie. In 14 years, nothing's changed.
There's no intensity to the team, is there?
Even Henry last night said that with Guardiola in training, he expects 100%. If you're giving 99.9%, he walks off from the training ground. Don't want to train you guys. You're not putting it in. Bye, see ya. And he walks off. Don't need to say nothing, but the players know that they've let him down. And then they pick up that.
And you know if you let him down,
there you go.
You could be gone.
Yeah. But at Arsenal, it's comfortable. It's, I'll play next week. I'll play next week.
So as I've always said, the comfort club.
Exactly. Bellerin's comfortable. Mustafi's comfortable. Koscielny's our captain. Czech's comfortable. Xhaka's comfortable.
Man United, you know, I know they've had their problems this season, but Man United, Mourinho, right? Whatever we want to say about him, right? They know who's in charge there. He's dropped Pogba, their main guy. Pogba. He's like, you're bench.
And then he fixed up by the next game.
He dropped not for one game, for several games. When they asked him why they dropped him, he said, yeah, well, in that previous couple of games, he didn't play well enough. Would we see that at Arsenal?
Of course you wouldn't.
At Granit Xhaka, I can't tell you the last time this guy had a good game. I've been willing him to succeed. I mean, I remember at the end of last season, I was like, you know what, it's too early to judge. He's just come in. It's a league, it's quick. You know, you don't get... He's doing the same things, if not worse, this season. Granit thinks he has half an hour on the ball. This is the Premier League. You don't get that amount of time. But do you think it's the players or the manager?
It's the manager. The players, we've got good players there. We've got good players. We've got two of the most potent strikers in world football. And look at them now.
But there's no service to these guys. There's
I know that, but
there's no, you know, there's no width in the team. There's no creativity in midfield. I just don't get what's going on. It's just...
But this is what I'm saying. There just is absolutely nothing in the team anymore. Nothing at all. And that's the problem, and things have got to change. Because until it changes...
But you're saying right now, you'd say, Arsene, if you was in charge, if you was the chairman, you're Ivan Gazidis, or Stan Kroenke, should we say, he's the one who makes the big decisions.
Yep.
You'd say to him, Arsene, you're done, mate.
It's done.
Tomorrow. So you'd go in there today and say,
bye-bye.
Can you clear out your thing? That's a bit...
No.
I feel a bit uncomfortable with
I don't care about uncomfortability or nothing. We don't owe him anything. He's an employee.
He's an employee, okay? But
because
it's like you've got an employee,
it doesn't matter.
And he's been brilliant for you over the years, and you just turn around to him and say, mate, pack your things and get out. You know what I mean?
Welcome to the harsh world of business.
That's a bit hard, man.
Sorry, but no, because at the end of the day, right, he had his chances to walk, okay? He had his chances. They've left it in his hands to say, okay, I'm going to step down. And his stubbornness, his greediness.
What if they come out and they say, right, at the end of your contract, we're definitely not renewing? If they came out and they said that now, do you think that would...
I'm putting up with another year of him? Are you mad?
He said he never walks away from his...
Well, that's why somebody needs to step in and say, sorry, no. It's like being at a wedding, yeah? And you've got your drunk dad there. And you know when they're like, I just want one more drink, one more. And you're like, you're going home. You're going home now. I just want one more. Get the fuck home now. That's Arsene Wenger. He's like your drunk dad.
That's quite an analogy, isn't it?
He's like your drunk dad at a wedding and you just can't get him home. The guy's losing the plot. Are you seeing what he's saying in his interviews? We're not mocking when we say we think that there's something actually wrong with him. Is he losing his marbles?
But listen, he's probably given you some of the, if not the greatest moments that you've ever seen watching Arsenal.
A long time ago.
Right?
And he's also given me some of my biggest nightmares.
Right, but he's given you some of the greatest ever moments that you've ever seen at Arsenal. Over the last 3-4 seasons, even though we ain't won the league, we still won silverware. Would it be right to turn around to him and say, Arsene, sorry mate, at the end of today, get your stuff together.
Yeah.
And leave. That's a bit hard. Because at least Robbie, give him till the end of this.
No, because Robbie, this is Arsenal Football Club and it's about what's best for the club. That's what this is about. This is not about Arsene Wenger. This is not about sending him off with a nice little... You know what I mean?
I wouldn't like to see Arsene Wenger.
I don't think a lot of people
unceremoniously
would have liked it. No,
just
what you got to remember,
lifted and said, pack up your bags, out.
Gone.
No, that's not right.
Listen.
I don't like.
This is Arsenal Football Club, as I said, and it's about what's best for us. And if what's best for us is him going to try and salvage the last remaining thing we've got this season, all for it.